How to get admission into Lahore University of Management Sciences. Lums has 5 schools, namely Sulaiman Daud School of Business, Mushtaq Ahmad Gurmani School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Sayyid Ehsan Ali and Sayyid Maratib Ali School of Education, Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering, and lastly, Sheikh Ahmed Hassan School of Law. Let's first talk about the competitiveness in terms of admission. As shown, Sulaiman Daud School of Business in terms of admission is the most competitive school to get in. Let's now discuss the competitiveness within school after admission. By this, we mean the competition within each school. As shown, Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering is considered to be the most toughest and competitive school at Lums. Now let's discuss the majors. Sulaiman Daud School of Business currently offers 2 undergraduate programs. This includes Accounting and Finance and Management Sciences. The Mushtaq Ahmad Gurmani School of Humanities and Social Sciences offers 4 undergraduate programs, namely English, History, Anthropology/Sociology, and Economics. Sayyid Ehsan Ali and Sayyid Maratib Ali School of Education is currently only for graduate programs. That is because it is one of the most recently constructed schools at Lums. Therefore, there are no undergraduate programs as of yet. Moving on to Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering. This school is the most diversified when it comes to offering programs. It is biology, chemistry, physics, engineering, mathematics and economics, mathematics and computer science. Within engineering, Lums offers chemical engineering as well as electrical engineering. Let's move on to Sheikh Ahmed Hassan School of Law. The school offers 1 program, and that is Law and Policy, in other words, LLB. The admission timeline at Lums can be divided into 3 parts. The SAT 1, the online application, and lastly, the entry test. A few points to know about this admission timeline are that the SAT 1 is compulsory for all applicants regardless of which school they intend to apply in. If they cannot give the SAT 1, there are a few alternates which we will look into in the later half of the video. If you intend to apply to the science school at Lums, then the SAT 2 is optional and you might consider giving that as well. The entry test as well is only for a few schools and not for all. Let's dive in deeper. Talking about the SAT 1. To get into Lums, 1300 plus would be a decent score. However, a 1200 plus would also give you a chance. However, nothing is for sure in this scenario. Moreover, if you score 1500 plus, you have a good chance of even earning a merit scholarship. To add here, Lums offers 100 merit scholarships each year. Let's move on to the SAT 2. For the SAT 2, a 650 plus score is decent. However, a 700 plus score will give you the edge. Another important thing to note here is that the SAT 2 should be given for 3 out of 4 subjects. These include biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics 2 of the SAT 2. Therefore, you must give 3 of these 4 in order to be eligible for admission. Moving on to the online application. Preferably, you should have all A's and A stars if you are from an O or A level background. However, a mix of B's and A's also gives you a good chance, but that does depend on the school you're applying to and the competitiveness in terms of admission. If you have C's, D's, B's, and A's, then, well, the scenario is kind of difficult. Let's talk about the online application in more depth. Firstly, create a login at the admission portal, then fill in some personal details. Then write your essay and submit it, and then upload your documents. Then you must also mail your documents to Lums. And lastly, pay the application fee. The application fee for local students is 6,500 PKR. If you intend to give the SPA SSC Lums test as well, which is the science school test, then that would cost 2,500 rupees extra. For international students, the cost is $100. And if international students intend to give the SPA SSC test as well, then the total fee would be $120. Moving on to the entry test. If you intend to apply to Sulaiman Dawood School of Business, then you must give either the SAT-1 or ACT or LCAT. LCAT is Lums Common Admission Test. If you intend to apply to Syed Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering, then again, you must give either the SAT-1, ACT or LCAT, and alongside, you must also give the SPA SSC Entry Test or give the 3 out of 4 subject test for SAT-2 that were discussed previously. Similarly, for Mushtaq Ahmed Gurmani School of Humanities and Social Sciences, you must give either the SAT-1, ACT or LCAT. For Sheikh Ahmed Hassan School of Law, the same applies. However, you must also give the LAT, which is the Law Admission Test. Let's dive deeper into the entry test of Lums Common Admission Test. It has 7 sections, out of which 3 to 4 sections are of verbal, that is English, and 3 to 4 sections are of math. The first 2 sections are for 30 minutes each. This is 1 verbal and 1 math. The remaining 5 sections are for 25 minutes each, and the last section can either be verbal or math. The time allotted for this test is 3 hours. An important point to note about the LCAT is that it is of 100 marks total. However, the marks of the individual sections can vary. Moreover, the LCAT is a substitute for SAT-1, and therefore, you can expect a similar pattern as the SAT-1. At the same time, however, I would suggest that you give the SAT-1 instead of the LCAT. The reason being that in the past, people have complained that the LCAT has questions of higher difficulty than SAT-1. Let's now talk about the entry test of SPA SSC. Here's the timeline. It has a biology section with approximately 30 MCQs, a chemistry section of approximately 30 MCQs as well, a physics section of 30 MCQs, and a mathematics section of 30 MCQs. The time allotted for this paper is 2 hours. Out of these 4 sections, you must attempt any 3, just like the SAT-2 entry test. The total marks for this test are 120. However, this is not fixed and can vary each year, and so can the individual marks or the MCQs for these sections. Another important point to note about the SPA SSC entry test is that their marks are not released, so you would never actually know how well you score or how bad you score in this entry test. Now let's talk about the entry test law admission test. Here's the timeline. You have an English section of 20 MCQs, a general knowledge section of 20 MCQs, an Islamic studies section of 10 MCQs, a Pak studies section of 10 MCQs as well, and an Urdu section of 10 MCQs, ending it off with a math section with 5 MCQs. An important thing to note about the law admission test is that it is of 100 marks and the passing marks are 50. Similarly, the LAT also has an essay of 15 marks, which has to be of minimum 200 words, and it also has a personal statement of 10 marks, which can be in either Urdu or English and needs to be minimum 200 words as well. The time allotted for this paper is 3 hours 30 minutes. The last thing that I would like to state here is that you can apply to more than one school and you can apply for more than one program at Lums. However, you must give your preferences in your online application. If you like this video, then subscribe and give it a huge thumbs up. Bye bye.